say one day Dr. Makama don't go ya no send the link no amba o mo wa na bibia etimi akoso enti abra wo ye no me am akwa ba de ma te say
nyame adom
correct na region what is saying
yeguso kakra
o ba conference ni bi
me ba bi pa
ana ma se da hu
me ba bi pa
sa wa ma nkofo je o boss
oh asemo
understand no sa
on say so mo pe wa asemo a
yeah
obi a person oben obi a person fro obi a person no odi nkomo sana game no
okay eti we hwan okay mati nyame chade mame kwa homa no so mana me ne enya rafi ho Georgia Mill okay me good evening that say
good evening nyame adom na pacha wo so
nyame adom ahoden e wo ho no mo na enda nwumre wubutu hin bebe a wona bosen
yeah we were UK na abo 8:30 ewo aha
there's someone na mo de time be wi asiti masa achim no ko nanim 1 hour oho
obende de open no mo de time ne
ya asemo na Ghana hampo de nyame ne na ase o se ye ntimi nye ne saa ekensi abo 7:30 wa hai kakwabra ne wasafe na abo 2 do pen wo ko de be ye ai ya sanity enti no bibia boko ho no mo de
Ami adum ko do eja summer banti no weather no aye kama kaka usually award nti ya na manfo chichefe na sesia no weather no aye kama kaka nti no bepi na obi a share shorts na t-shirt
na mo rough
over there
na pacho wo hefa
me was South London nti baby me work currently London.
Okay.
South part of London.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Say Ghana for hopa
oh yes. Aha, the game one bank Croydon.
Yes.
Ghana for hopa. Croydon Canberra Ghana for area pa.
Oh, okay. Say the Croydon na say ne almost so alo mo kwaji omani wo ayi pa be fe say Gold Coast.
Ani Gold Coast ben Croydon and eja Ghana na oba for na wa akosho with Mr. Kakafo
omo yade emrado omo to mo hono mo ho modern papa ena anu ya ye nu panyi lumba free mu metie se anwumre menya videos bi na nkofo je omo ni papa areho wom enso be ndeng
eja omo na mo cheche ewe kakaka
right na eneye ba wabobo anu a ye di nkomo MPP4 enura chi omo bie nominations necessary dey will be your pepso wo ye flag bearer bia no obetimi aba be pick your forms about the 10,000 be ba na 100,000 wo ko submit na the 500,000 aba be 600,000 hon komo no koso isi bi ma start akọ pick na ma ti se bi ma declare in fact no echi dukura pu na even na penny ko be Japan so e declare say obeko enese bi dey so mo se ono be kan kwa kofa na de me confirm me am ya hwe sa process no e wo ho no mo and last week you see sorry that ni a I funny saying attorney general say one Dr. Komnadofo I akwa apam bi ye fe na agenda 6040 uku wiade a fascist bra ban no na 40 no so kwa afa kofi enti say no sika Komnadofo e wono ho no attorney general so 60% mra na 40% in there won fan kofi na won kudi say de be ya won ko de prison you know e wo ho no mo e na akotia by election so ye bekoso e na nipa bebre so da so support Dr. Mamudu Bamia ye busa say Southland ya we ni adade no e what say people still in support of Dr. Bamia's candidature na say won kwa na mo so won kwa e de nti na e kwa so support no be be fefe bia na ye kwai
yeah godon mamindin kan menchia weti fo am wahwefo ene obi a ti o sabre na godon minda wo wan kasa so ase eya na ejuma we no eye ado a wo ma Ghana edintina we be decide say o busy schedule o talent o energy would be share radio ejuma to update, inform and educate Ghanaians. Me follow especially 2012 election petition.
I see.
I've been following, and I mean, shall say, Okoswana, would you mind who would do what time or energy at the ball mine Ghana. Mr. H. Me chapter chairman, Mr. Frank Stedman, and your branch chairman, chairman Dumatan. Now, may call a son, so there were 2 million. My friend free baby, we'll start here, no, presidential primaries data. They are confirmed for 31st of January. Idea yenina yeni HSA amia adumna 31st eswa bebombodi abotwi abetai edumadini chi na sedebeya edi kunye bebre party ni nyina ani obia na kumadagana ho I'm so closing date near 28th of August.
Yes.
We did this Thomas Atan Mediana candidate na ako yi krata ompese omutu frankama NPP party kese 2028 presidential contest no na the possible no may aware say mpanyinfo kukuda mienu na edijuma diwe ano which is ya papa adokufo on our chair committee no and honorable rights, and so in terms of the elections and so on so obedeni na mpanyinfo ni mpanyinfo I really admire them so much, and I believe sir when be jumaden na ho atefa said the beya obia obeko akense ni binu atin ho ase say nkunimdie no eba na obviously we very, very important activity that I will urge all party supporters say the ACBA no ye fan twichi na ye drain your mind ho eya na eya say ehihye pa na enyumo pa ye party edit to kwemu ananka yes say ye betwas na ye mani na akoyie no fofo antwata na ya ba opposition a ya numfo o mabaji a o mo ye no basa we yia ya se be say sikwan so na ya sa akwhihye ni bio yesa na ya ma o mining punto no to say dia you Dr. Baumia can say to lead from the country development no ya na kechi intino say ya beka ye na ye ho abom ni obia na ya na nije say ya ba be hu a bia obinye bi nyoma bi ankoyi and all of that, but I will say I show the bigger picture, which is Ghana normal papa party ni do go akweme babo man na ye de etimi akam na atuichi ni focus on that invest task party phone na say sa dwumedie we ya ba ye na ye nkai humbom na ye man ye prefer godo nti we na me de ebe wo presidential promise no
okay
na minim so person me to so call second party
straight over to back but before be call no enkomo ben na ekoso ewo San London ewo presidential primacy ebe first one no 3 years ago there no na Dr. Duchum enka ho na Dr. Branchampo enka ho basese no ominu eso atwemuti omo so be kwa contest bi nim se ema dynamics ne tise enkomo ekoso de tise wo ho
dynamics ne de quite interesting na say UK branch they say I wouldn't say one of the controversial branches in the party.
Of course, it has to be.
You started contest on the 10th of December and so on the 10th now you started a promise so I say your platform is so and but at the end of the day say the direction is that there is a particular candidate which will come to that conversation.
Okay, fine.
In due course to discuss that further. Yeah. But yes, Brian a champion so a unity and hopefully the other candidate that will be coming. But we now a party map. O mine no cost one
bridge e ba ye ntina ma until see be say that the lumba de ye be bo no nyum no saa ye se no kro still na megide say ye be bo ena busuafo no call menhia ekobo otufo amane nyame adom a chena busuafo be hia Ghana fo lo maka de wom nyina a kyereye enra wia men dota ba men mpanifo ekọ that lumba fie ekọ chia busuafo na former vice president dota ba me aka asembi was so appeal to the government they say ye man no state barrier and as state funeral they say wo ya appeal sa ban go pa anya antumi krompa na yin de eden a state funeral and the state barrier it is an etm say the legendary status dey there e wo soro pa na Ghana fo ye beda Ghana fo nyina se Ghana fo a kire do wo hwe meme da na twa mu ya enkofo ye vigil akra hankofo ye papa na efe papa na branch bi a me hwe ni video later in the day na wo se empanifo na vigil de nya ho de kan tribute na man kan tribute ni se pa asantefo no bejo mo ye diako eye de aso e beje diako an ye beje diako na kofoduafo so aye baby bebre eye o ma ya de Ghana fo ya de pa ahye chat ko fusu enmonyam nenne awie na me se hu se ye papa kofo former president John Ejekum Kufuor na be ye hwede papa ni mfi aduru se wo number se be 87 na sesen na watini wheelchair mu na wo se the mint na fie e man ko fonko enkotie no me kan kire me sa eti ese me so mitu anamon se be pedu asa hwan lo ka se wo soma no a wontimi ensoma in fact se papa Kufuor kwa ka se wo soma na Kufuor ado immediate past president go so wonko enkosi na dem o obetima soma na mnako amakwa yaba ana former vice president obeye but no hwe say this one wan kasako eti ene wono so ekoi 4 days ago na say Friday no so former president na Rodney Kufuor ado enso koi na be mansu wo hwe wo kasa ka ba bi na watunti ko wiem do se na supo ahini no eya pa enti no empanifo ahye that lumba ni monyam na MPP for so ayade because what is that the lumba I think from 2012 all more corner was started born no MPP no when the MPP edin ye enu adota ba me aka say nanka that the lumba kwa eco studio akobonyum amano nanso ahoden na ahoden ni ho ebusafo in fact say ehemfu kra suaya omuso musuaya yare pen ye na mom say ene die bia ne hempon afren wontime ma anase the crew for African won't money be a rentia. Until once again, no, you better Ghana for you now. I say, and you better come and you better come be Miaminia. I told me, I say no more. Me who not check a crime now 2 weeks ago, and he shy. And I said, didn't come on, share swallows who will be fear me. I didn't had a one fee, and to say the or better abba. I don't know if any slighted or rubber slighted, and now about a former member of parliament, and my English amount through. And no, I say a former deputy information minister. Now, Enra you call that the lumba fee na Samia Uku or Abu Samia Uku. Warrior and now warrior introduction no. Now, body is a former CEO we were her, former MD we were saying no more. I feel it's a former quadros. That's all you need general assembly Remo. A diva me propose me will be a former. A former. Now, and now you call down a friend is a Patriotic Institute. Omone MPP Council of Elders Akabu di say and then exactly 78 years your former UGCC 4th August our Salt Pond na mpedi focus awie ye no na ya mami Elizabeth or Hennebeck so obeji microphone so waka just one sentence bi and is a winning the opposition city just last year 4th August na holiday na nyina tifie ke nyina beta ba ha bebre but nay ya be opposition 4th August aba be working day this one nim the opposition city sa enety and e be the party hu komo bebre just towards unity in the party said the bear party no akwa election aba very humiliating election both presidential and parliamentary it be din komo ahwese de yini betima boboa ye ho na yetimi akoyanim and the council of elders chairman Rahak no so agman e kasa o program na se no wo se ye blame obi enye ye nyina we are all to blame enti no wo so no na wate ato but be sentimi asori enti ene bedi nkomo nam awie mate se NDC for ese koko na komo so mbatum e de akose 6500 asesen ene amenu kasei omo de 150 Ghana cedis pe na aka ho 150 Ghana cedis pe o na aka koko ho na me say enkofu we dey con men in government na yankopon de we na ade kwa wonye na ade kwa ato force na wakasa ma NDC say NDC ba mu a ombetu koko bo amna ko be 6000 and over no enne nyame ncha de one finance minister na wonni ani wonti watimi atena se approve say yemfa just 150 Ghana cedis and to koko price e fa to so sa ibedi ho nkomo MPP for mpanifo e wakotia ye hwe de ekoso but nei NDC for akwa press akoye primary secretary bi holomo e de yi wo mo candidate obe contest wa akotia abra ye nua enese akomie free mu na anwanwasam ne se sambe kaya awu se enese akomi ewi ni elections no NDC parliamentary candidate na won contest will be over 2000 no what they asem the court na asem no the court ne lawyer say the lawyer no so call the post no ne call do papa to be me so kwa se wo kwa ye ni tim sa kwa wonko wini na enese akomi eti omosi oh enese ade ade one enese akomi contest ko no ansan kwa omosi da bia mpene ye be ko primaries ene no mko ye primaries eti lawyer no ene ne client omodi abo ani ne about moto no de wo man tra bontin as omo kan na central fo ni ho omo wi mo friend central fo se mo mra ne akan abanda wi ara mo ya pagya lawyer ne nsa se wa beat the enese akomi ene contest 2024 elections no me no ka se eja dem e wa kotia and this was say ye ne po mo wi ayen se mo wi ayen dia ene de be MPP ni no but me say MPP for muzuma ne nyamo de and this for you can never trust them in terms of elections they can never trust them muzuma ne nyamo de mo nkoso nye campaign no na mo hwe dem betim e de enkomo bebre e wo holomo mama menua akwaba slide na ene mate say
Godon
menua
na wajo
ye nua so ho ye
nyame adom me ho ye
ide nyame ase
ho ye pa
ide nyame ase
nyame ase chia MPP fo nyina menso me forma no ntum na yemma yenua Daddy Lumba benia wanya ni baby ko enra me say Dr. Mahmoud ba me afi ho me so me kopi mu ho ene mapamfo ekochia ebusuafo ema wo yakọ na ka si so ema ebusuafo tie say ye mu bi ye bekoso aye advocate not only the state barrier hu hia say man no state barrier but beyond the state barrier no was say ye shene ni onyam na o kai say MPP esi school pon bi wo Kumasi eye enyom to na music
yeah
kese pa wo Kumasi
yes
I tete nkwala from kindergarten sa to university
yeah
ebe ya sa school no ye momodin fa ni dentu so
agrikins ma ho de bi no okay
ye wie de baba bi edu no is over 90%.
yeah na ekosro pa
I tete nkwala e wo bibia mu e wo kroma ba bia yi sini e bibia e de dentu so a me gidi say
yeah at least you know for status
at least you find it into so because a ban nyonto mu pa wo man mu hadia waye bi is a hero mra na debate wo baby say between Michael Jackson and Daddy Lumba I mean so be in his jurisdiction
of course
Lumba ni pa say na Michael Jackson bonyo mo better so bonyo mu kroma but the ban krom ha pa dia there's only one legend and only one icon.
Oh, yeah, no dear.
I saw for nya omuchefa. Nkwala nya omuchefa. Ema nya omuchefa. Emema nya omuchefa. Esuja for nya omuchefa. Aware for nya omuchefa.
Broken heart
for nya omuchefa. Nti wan bi unaka. Obi anya bi.
Obi anya bi.
Nti Lumba de. I'm not surprised that no Independence Square the vigil night no said yes call no
yes
for so we now what we but it's a sentiment one kasankasa omo de om de be hihye so
I almost Saturday
is a contest between Accra and baby ye no pa ebe ye no eno na be kire say ye no nya ni nkra na se van Kumasi
me put them omo me nya the regional base day regi bia nya ne de but ye be ye no central wa Accra oho omo via me de suggestion ye ye national yin wa Accra ye wie ya no ni ya left body no Kumasi no akot to aso
na Gordon Lumba die wutie wo mo a oni wo mo hyase e wo ni mofra bremo it means that talent I the wo no na akire bi amwa oman yi na MPP oni ye di ni ye na in fact and me no wo kasai 20 baby obedu bia na nado nyom na no na nado na achu na num tio se Lumba ka ho pa na obeye omampani uhwe enyoma otoma na nado pa nana is a winner na ebrani amamu ayedin just enyoma wo ye hwan anu me when this for be social media na mo tu o mo num tio says one of the enyoma o mo tia na mo ye ma hye wo and indeed is a wayade na enyame nwanwa say MPP mpanimfo efie kire ni ya ubia akoho ekoma ebusuan ya akọ ti enura me so ku pie mu ho ekoma ebusuan fo ya akọ
na also ko
ho
oh okay and then see France na wo ba
mu free ho ya na me so me ku duro na so mu na mo ko ya
oh okay
but Saturday nya ho kwan me sanso nchia me a me wofa me papa Akwakwata my road minister no so ashre ni yire me ami ko pie mo me ne menua honorable Baligi former MP for Lambushi and former MP for Tema Central honorable Ninoy
yeah and Ninoy is no ho
yes the ko pie mo Saturday no ko chia ye wofa and ne ko di nkomo kama ko say said ye tibia no chehye bia abusuafo be ye no obema MPP amanyuku ni Ghana for nyina yasobete wofa ye ma ya ko ni shedin said ye ka kire wo no sa enti Lumba
Timoko for Watema.
You call for Watema.
Okay.
Sana, yeah, but Daddy Lumba. And got on MPP for Sebi, we're for
now. What won't artist management da? Who manage artists be other?
Local ones be the Ivy.
Eh, because me I remember something like that.
Yeah.
Any pageant if we be no. The bro. Of course.
But as a matter of fact, Lumba dear, we are Benya ni wase makano. Papa na aboni humodi.
Of course.
Legends never die.
Of course.
Me ni say Lumba, you see, nipewu but the Tremampro said the TBA no. Many years to come. Lumba nyoma na utia as and then we releasing nyoma.
Yeah.
For that reason, I'm convinced that Ninyom better ache.
Yes.
Na sabi. The only we are a year me yaka said the Dr. Mahmoud ba mi akaye say anka Lumba G2 mo pa so be bonyo mama no. Na yare enti want to me na eye obi aye.
A hard dream.
E gidi say said the day akoma so bi anyame de be ma MPP amanjo. Ti godon enyomre die. The be din komo a
yes.
E fa Ghana ho. The be din komo e fa MPP ho.
Okay.
Ni chia MPP for nyina.
Na ye beto abalo na projections eba researcher eba whether scientific or non scientific na bibriche se MPP ibelusu Greater Accra etuka champion fo abim so omonso atete saa enti ombeso manage gap no wo say mi an sedan hu say mbetima lusu ho even though na akwan no kwan ni bi na ye issue a na nkofo kasa wo ho enti yenim de baaye say dem so untimi mu so obi asa that dey because aye all have sinned, none is guilty because across board what did say ye de pa na e ma yitim lusu seed bebre sa na ye den
Gordon
me
chia bio na me chia ahwefo Gordon you see so be say yenim the buyer you lose 2024 elections na de bia nipa no on person be kan kra kire MPP for
okay
but nyame say en kan kra nsem no bi wo ho a say de mpanimfo say sodwa say mpanimfoɔ tu nnan sɛ nsɛm no bi so
nti bɔ anyi nya be kana bonten
nya be kana bonten but ye hu ye pa overwhelming majority 169 seats in 2016 yenya ewini aba almost a million different in vote.
Yes.
2020 ye winning 137 enye nyame ena edi ye ho afofi ena independent eni ye be ye adwuma eme ye for me majority one. I just say MPP ye winning presidency no now so parliamentary no there na ka free party
da ben kwa
ye nyame ena edi ye ho afofi eno mo ne nya first ever opposition speaker of parliament emo ntokwa ne ade Gordon Ushe a typical example of central region. Nanado winning in 10 constituencies. Or winning in 10 constituencies I didn't kunim. You lose all those seats.
Yes.
In 2020. Nanado vote from 1 million vote to over 500,000 votes.
Yeah.
So I was say and say the signs were on the board.
Yes.
Me Obama Peswaso, but you know English amount from. It's not an exception. Factors that contribute to our electoral defeat. Your roads.
Did they become your right?
Oh yeah, we are right.
Okay.
Gordon, Oshe from Botiano Junction, Old Barrier, Ekopim Kaswato Boot. In Siotoa, quite not to me see for hours. Not trapping Crawford. Not trapping Crawford being quite bimba. Many sister radio stations. Alcohol. Unim ehu year West Hills Mall. Nipa eti echire ho nyina ye ho di Akwasa electoral area. That electoral area voter population of 33,000. One electoral area.
Wow.
That is MPP vote basket. Na nipa kem ebi di atwede esi Monchibonka mo asa na mo afro aka mo fie.
Abonye penta. Okay.
Ebi tumi park wo mo car wo mall. No mo afro Anton chine. Ebi efu motorbike okada. Ebi to cars pa aka wo fie a wo ntumi pa mpie. Me de ono bo akwanta ekọ ho. Asenso boachi ekọ ho. Ejuma eye within my remit as a member of parliament. Mitumi see me boka say 4 years. Am ye mrahye bidwani was our constituency ono. Gordon. Ejuma ma ye wo ho. NDC for crack dey one dance here. But
akwana ni amwa nyame nchade most of them minya late approval woko Ajasco junction saa be pm West Hills Mall ye sha se ayeye kwan no no bia fi say elections nti ne ba be ye onyi ndi woko baby bebre akwan ahodo ade yensa akeka me for the first time obi a wonim Botiano Unim Bojo Beach Road no so from the old barrier all the way to Kukrobite. Rough road. The days of Gordon Gorgesburg. So our community say there's never been a secondary school in that area. In my tenure as an MP for 4 years, and then Botiano Secondary School, they see ABA and Bosek. They admitting Kalao school. I think the MC Nukraba have a kind.
Oko Ayamiami Sanrejuma, Oko Tuba. The biggest astroturf for Ghana, and they bought Premier League matches. You bought Premier League matches. Too bad. It's part of my record in that constituency. In Yuma, say MP within my remit, I will say me to me, yeah, a work constituency. No, me need ni say Ubi or work constituency. So yeah, NDC, so MPP ni. No MP has ever worked as much as the Juma work constituency. But the national Adiana. A two farm yenina. Nanka one beje di say a constituency like Okankwe South. A seat I lusu da. Now let me tell people, but you know English amount from. Yet the constituency no. Me na me ma MPP winning for the second time on the trot. Party be winning twice on the trot na. Some for can records now. Omo kan ye no mo this mo chechire mo. 2012 NDC winning here. Any beje 2016.
Yeah.
And I mean maintaining seat no for the party no. Ni ababe lusu. Factors ni there said the medical kind no bebre wo ho a yentumi nka na mountain for the good and the sake of the party. But me amiti hyper there na report e ba nyina every day national security report e wo ho roads nipa ne bu efu say abano ye na yetumamo na aweho se me wom ne say NDC for voter omunya 2020 ami BT wo mo no esocratic kakra
omo de no so tikakra polling station ye win ye 2020 nyina mi di nkunim no godon we won all those polling stations again but with minimal difference na ube call polling stations nipa say abano ye nkonkoto factors in the doors eno ntina e bi edu no edu baby a sometimes we a party penia enye ni nyina na obeka na bontin nipa di yawo akasa hudu a wanhwe ni ebe heti party no so eya na eka ya no ato eya na ebirum ka say
because we share you lose 50 seats in one election cycle
anodin and that science na so clear
enti media in Greater Accra so we catch us say you nim say na efomu nye e wo Greater Accra na ye boa but Greater Accra all politics start with Greater Accra every national issue start with Greater Accra so Greater Accra
that's pretty
I was say ehwe ni ye and there are many statistics me start say me dey show about Greater Accra how we've played our politics over the last 8 years or beyond there we go but eno bi wo ho a me baby am tie sisia no see Dimitri Musi say some of the conversations is not meant for the media space.
Okay, media so can we let's know what they are. Two regions, Greater Accra and the Central Region. Me kai say we first na ye bob bit say there is a melite gudinya. Ni ye wo se be pede ye wo enkra fom panifo a
godo ma mi mo party no every party is in grand groma.
Yes.
And Accra politics, you must relate to the ground. You must relate. I was so related to the ground. Accra politics is not meant for everybody.
Enti
we've deviated. Anything I may see in some no be wa Godon.
Ah, what about my fact Central Region then nka ho. Na ehwa ade bi e wo ho. Ya we de nya kokoma asem kwai pese. But say ye call ye ba Greater Accra na ye bo empanifo wo Greater Accra mu ye MPP fo nkranfo typical nkranfo ya enmunyam wo mu odura obobodi na eketua bi me say I'm worried about it okwa Central Region if free say ma me Christian church amo ene honorable Gladys Asma may so rest in perfect peace of free mu ya Christian church do la so ho no mo but after that no we said then Central Region sabi pedo si bi e ma no kromo panifo bi o mo ho no mo etime ye busa say party no omo dwe ho does it come to their notice say okay ade benti e den na ese yeye
Godon obi sam panifo a obi sam panifo they were deliberate panifo were deliberate about leadership.
Okay.
Choice of leadership for the party.
Okay.
Eben encompassing all this interest now. People were deliberate about it. And yes, sir, it's here by accident.
Okay.
They were deliberate. So when you're deliberate about your choices, now in the name of elections, ubi anko tuaba. Now you kotono sa people improve teach the ombe.
Okay.
Ombe.
I take a decision.
I take a decision. I don't think I promise no. I'm trying to bring back to your party for across the country. Look, Mami Kancho, first, Nanipa etuaba in the leadership of your party.
Yeah.
More often than not by consensus. But then you are dealing with over 7,000 delegates.
Is it for you say Yakob 10,000?
Yes.
The other can Saturday, no.
And then Oko 276 constituencies, 16 regions. I'm saying yeah. I dear bet me a boa party ni pa. You bet me a shishen ye near your home for so no.
Actually, very beefy.
And to me, and yet because Nipa send the was our candiano. I'll bet me to Sana Mono. Let me acquire Sa Etumano. So the party itself, I was said we rebuild. In rebuilding, I was also here baby out to see. I don't know the team I had call Ligono. rebuilding the party no and then at form MPP party and then yakono eyes of young kasa young certain sadia yembisa young in some do a dead pefe na me de bia me can say abatwa you lose ye it is nothing but apathy.
But an apathy, no, you see, apathy ni a effect.
Exactly.
There's always a cause.
Aha. You see, what occasion the apathy?
What you say, no? Ba kwa musu occasion apathy ni say, yes, President Kufuor appointees na mu ya homa so dodo. Ebi mu say, owo pade from holomo omunya.
So, mama can say mcho. Who miss them? You are talking about the party.
Oh, okay, party.
Yeah, party wants them.
It's a really about government.
Yes, yeah, party wants them. Say, who can party wants them? Don't blame Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
You've elected leaders to manage the party.
National chairman, general secretary,
you've elected
organizer, women's organizer.
Other than was blaming Akufo-Addo is the president managing government. There's a relationship, but your core responsibility. Who core responsibility is to manage the party and make the party strong and attractive. Say party ni be jani na so. Mami can say mcho. Ya elected officers of the party way. Me call rounds na asen kakra. Me bisa baby me dubia me bisa. Hold on. Elections all over. A produce popular candidate. The popular or constituency no. We win elections for the party as a party officer. It doesn't mean say expertise are to achieve a national goal no for instance Papa will be as a research officer, research and elections officer our constituency, not a basic political research training. Woman be a women organizer popular ya two up niswaba you know what next? Be a youth organizer, what next? Enti sani pano MPP no go don ye call elections I was a party no and a candidate call elections but then you candidate na the party no call elections so a Juma was say structures no Emma party no structures no are not trained resource to effectively work for the party to be strong on grounds enti MPP we call many constituencies no interquarrel between the PCs and executives over time. Because PC will be perceived so benya relevance of betumi aye ejuma and the PC or support no we need there obebo no aye ejuma but then yes anetia then so a ban is elections do because the PC is the face of the campaign. Every little resource is not as much as the PC himself here to run the campaign but the little that come it goes to the PC. That creates a problem between the party structures itself. We've never had the budget to run the party effectively. Resource key what pound for no training, no capacity building
for party officers.
Under normal circumstances power party executives no answer na candidate number. So what have they been doing? Training in pano man resources some konko ye ejuma so be atia but ye ba ban mu ye ba ban one of the key things of now you see party now look constituencies we come no ya constituencies no ya pre-DC nadumo coordinator, school feeding coordinator, YE coordinator is the sole reserve of the party. Now afei omo akohunto kwasa na party no mu achiche but they are creating opportunities more ya ba ban mu. I think say we should be deliberate. We should go around party executives ebi kuta double masters degrees well educated. Now in Yuma ya creating Maritime Authority, Ghana Gas, GMPC, ECG na there or 276 constituencies with executives. Now the executives only when you say they fight over district DCE. Wait. But there are jobs that paid more than DCE.
Let's say DCE for almost 6,000.
Meanwhile, you're creating all these opportunities. So who is there speaking for the party people? So almost opportunity so can also go back and help and influence vote in their communities.
And but then so why you not the money? Except we have people occupying those offices.
So let me tell you.
Yes.
Go to a district level. Now wafa NADMO coordinator in the constituency. Out of the 17 executives, yes, ABIA. But does he have what it takes economically to influence vote in the communities. No. But beyond that, no, Abina created a lot of opportunities. I thought that we should be deliberate to resource our party officers. What did the NDC for? Say every communications officer of the NDC in the district level or the constituency level is a government communications officer attached to these SOEs that we are talking about. So one more drew to begin with. One more drew. So you see,
before we back to us, and the first John Mahama, that would lose 2016 elections, you know. We put a media phone. Pro MPP, pro NDC media personnel, you more lot of them, especially even Eastern region. The way what the year for correspondent, Eastern region, they didn't call that move. We what they didn't call get fund. We didn't call until almost just let it by 20.
So Gordon, let me tell you, we have a functioning of a party.
Okay.
A party, you know, also the data. Bring to the attention of the president. It's not for nothing that the president allows the chairman and general secretary
to be part of cabinet. Yeah.
Your ministry is a party. You represent the party in cabinet. So when you go to the cabinet, now Banner will be complaining there. Because president has been gracious. Because the president need person ni trim upon say party ni no aban na betre yie. And nti na the aban ni yie bia no, o pese party ni hunu mo. E de na party ni hunu mo. Party ni mfa ye nyina ntimi nkotena ho. Enti e dia na we call cabinet because ministers call cabinet obi ade ni so ade ho eko em ye strategy tum eko parliament ma ye na wo na wote ho no. Your interest is the party and your ministry for that matter a party no did it. So first of all say identify all the gaps are a weakened party structures no because am for the before when one say you create opportunities awobo but e be so form e be so party for the so into omudi yawa o meka mo say go machi because all these things are making one say me and yes you create opportunities no you create pa na say NDC for buy nipa be 100 wo Bank of Ghana enye nyame na say ya na so wo yi nipa be 100 if Bank of Ghana wo buy maritime authority o ma honkrofo bebre
if I even national security national security saying o ma fa I think is it 10 people per constituency.
Massa, national security budget. You can't want to approve.
I see any penny in the ministry.
Look, you see,
even that fast still.
They be America. Obi a what TM be our regions, the constituencies. They know what I represent. They know what I represent. So for me, say Obika, the party and the government relationship. Abanye create every look. They are appointing MMDCs, and yet party for now here so.
Party for
and here so the general secretary, the national chairman, any local government minister. Make recommendation from my president.
But see, I don't see you need to say, Omomuka say, my opinion change your mono, don't allow one as a woman.
You see, God, me say appointment. Okay, say Nipa 5, 7, April, MC, DC from a particular district, and these are officers of the party. Bakupe Nebinya.
Of course.
Bakuna Kano. Ye treaty wo say no want to support back na odejuma na man
say you muta de bufu
of course so the data being presented to the president say Nipa say na aye application say na party officers back na nya aye opportunities ben ye create but I'm always telling you say opportunities are ya create e wa ban mo over the last 8 years no ye ni ko party no ho e me fix party for I'll be candid to tell you
but you see at a point in time president I will cancel to me appointing by around 7,000
so you see mami
that those positions were they not failed by MPP people
so let me tell you
they were
but yeah Kasai there are many people I'm talking about the party structures
yes
there were 276 constituencies by 17 officers, over 4,000 class officers, and regional officers, external branches. These are officers of the party. So your core duty, say you speak and advocate for these people. And no beyond when your opportunity, no, and a line officer of the party.
Yeah.
But the line officers of the party, and a whole party, no. So between a line officer who is educated, I'll pay Juma. Ni obi oye adamfo for obi. or no be relative on your way. No, you should be able to account for opportunities. Now you create. You should be able to account for. See, to me, accounting for opportunities. No, not part in any fair share of the opportunities now. And because I did be way, and part in the say any more than ye. Obi any, Obi a president appointing in the one way or the other. But I'm asking, say, nipa say and they falling within the line officers of the party. Because anka institutions that make a MPA, Maritime Authority, Ghana Gas, GMPC, the last 8 years, not less than 5,000 or so employment across this way. Where we deliberate. And then audit of NIPA FA or Monina. Yes, started say audits here. But somebody must be out there to speak for the people. Say NIPA 5 are corporate DC. But Benya or more Macan, they are equally qualified. And if we were deliberate, says the uncle follow be opportunity be back for these institutions that even pay more than a DC. Now you offer them such opportunities. When they go back to their constituency, they won't fight the DC.
But now also no, when we say contest now, we come no. Ebia person could di MC. In the part 4, we na obi qualify back with the binya. Se ba kunya na se wo anyina akote fie ana se unsu ma bunfu
na godon
minua
ye nyina ya pray ma obi a we yi wanim se wo ye politics e wo local level the only prayer is say aban be ba power
yeah
na wo ebusuafo wo ye young man back to school certificate dadem ya ko pre DC ye enya DC yi pe aban na nkasa create more opportunities
onko hwehwe bia
you see we see onko hwehwe bia
se bebre wo
there be so we see onko we must be deliberate about it. The point I'm making is that I was deliberate about it. Sabi, obi wo esunafo esutifi baby. Now, the only master or youth organizer of this party, or with a master's degree, or with a first degree, or opportunity, why apply for DC where you should have the data. Say I see my way. When you jump over here, or some party now, when your opportunity, there's an opportunity ever Ghana water. You must facilitate and help him. So the person appointed by the president at this institution must be accountable.
When you say any many petima your mother
and the party mun your mother.
And because
obi go can say o man penin say man find party for. O order.
You put oboa. You know oboa o man penin anka hwe a kire no. Professor Tifa say
e was say ye ni nipa e na ye adwuma. Ene yen nipa na betwi. Any nipa na ye from say ye party juma.
Nipa
had na nipa ko ye party juma. Eno na di ebufo any ya party ni bae. And the appointment that nkrofo ye nyina na NDC for every regional organizer of the NDC as a presidential staffer. A co-terminus with the deputy minister.
Yes, that I agree.
And every regional organizer in charge of operations in the region. And the Bemanu Prado no the betunya chin region ho bia aban fuel. Aban car and you no service.
Uhugusa.
And a him for non to me call within the district at the region on ye juma party. Ejuma be no mo ye. Omo ye party, omo ye NDC juma.
And the party juma.
So were they not deliberate about it?
Okay.
They were deliberate. And this only panel have been issue or shany pan crime.
Of course. Because
party officers no. Woman no ye officers or representing party no. And as a leader, I was saying Nipa look up to you. They shouldn't look down on you. No be a party ejuma sa na party about power. Ni yi ni mu a e wo local level no be laughing stock. So on to me inspire confidence. One among his own family, not to talk about the community. So until we are deliberate about opportunities that are creating, because a party form, you can't grassroots. It's the party people. Because we'll be a constituency organizer, we'll be a youth organizer, we'll be a chairman. Na onibia a share nipa o mutu ne so aba no almost a share o mon kran. So same dey be brave. I think say it's about time. Say deliberate about managing and resourcing our party.
Okay.
Important.
Mate, abusafo aha eye wuntumi radio 95.9 and na mosa ehwe social media Facebook and YouTube. Mene former member of parliament Sylvester Tete wo English but ya no ka ho but ya no English amanfro mo kwan ne mo kwan de nye an iti me sa beach bi na wo fefe ni se ne ko ya me be kwa abrede ka me ko bola beach na iti ya no wase ma ye di enkomo ye konkomo no ma no ye be call the way forward ye be call program ye kwye the conference ye kwye University of Ghana Legon reforms wa abamu sa expansion kakra no a aba no ene Chamber of Council of Elders Ekasim bi ewo Protect Institute Hall was say who say NDC for a year registration bi na a video bi was nti obi apa mo ko share videos na dachi bi as MPP ka say ye bi ma obi a register ato aba but we say we NDC we MPP ni was there that possibility is there it maybe and money you to say no one step ahead I be betimi that be betimi e de aye my first like say e ma gastro mixture say me catch was busuafo say all sawo so a gastro mixture and now betimi e de etu sa yare no ase menso plus mixture so ba ebosumi no so a na ho ache on the back and poster plus mixture be ma wo da wo jonso sa be 5 times asana de ache untimi so da papa bia mekanfo edi ama Correpass Ventures or Kaisi Drug Lane na Boache Heba Teba Community 1 Ekus Pharmacy Ashama Main Station and the House of Drugs and all pharmacies across the country which are 0248778899 na wotime akoton dosupu na wotime akoton enya so emfa so kakra high sense for them omode aba the gas cooker refrigerator chest freezer air conditioners television na bebre and high sense for Eddie Abba or matete to say hwi na so no quality in the age de gina it make am for high sense for them Eddie amount the whole Ghana mini baby omu endie omu babia e wo man Ghana munti make am for Eddie amount say high sense kama say high sense best for quality best for durability best for energy efficiency best for affordability best for style and best for technology okay it's omo eden tabia takum ememme nyina Supreme Court judge na ababonte no wodi asema difo pachokoje tabia takum na so timi win the cases ni bi na so we bema why right am back to studio na me nua eni enkobo ena no ye call University of Ghana enem enkobo ko so abonte die ye de enka ho ba reforms na ba ya baby holma di paye 7 5 is the 2 e ka ho ye baby mun kakra no so show this di babe 3000 bi ya be ka ho kakra na position be the say director of communications any officers of communication at the various police stations and regions na first dey to so aba na ye appointment ba say no so mo say no ye beto so aba any date the actually stated 1st January 2026 eco presidential elections at saying
Gordon I think say maybe I be mo any dey o say ye party politics there a social organization esisa enim no sisa edane abrabia edane na okwa ahoyahia mo na o say bu nkompo ehwe wachi na wo ye nsakraya ebetumi aboa megidi say nipa dodo na ehwe kwan sanka party no ade a edi enya kese pa constituency parliamentary elections ayeye na sikatua ebem because obiti compound house obeko constituencies bia assembly ebiti da MPP beye primaries obi owo constituency obi abeti de course obi abeti sika yitua ye obi beti niama omodi kofi obi beti eno na nipa doma eto aba no impempi wo campaigner me call Asare-Bediako Methodist Church
okay
and na so for no in fact ye primaries bi ye kwa koda ase koda nyame ase na ye call Methodist Church na so for no say me ti say mu che televisions nti Asare de ye nji baako e bedi mienu
so for no
na wonim areho
na so for oto aba ne bi
wonim areho sem o si mo wie kitwa no de kese no ye ne ye beto
ho ne asem no
ho ne ye problem but anokrasem mo say ya nche television
ba wote sa
a propaganda a day or two before the elections we did two more say you say honorable Beche television now me say money per 1,200
wo constituency hono ba before bi che bi
media man che bi
baby
and am ka che so from baby for che e bi che fridge
baby de na omo wo television 32 inch no or be 200 ano odi o be 200 the good them enti wo che we che we ko che de no eno hu se no ne de no ne ba ko de na aye tie the tie breaker no and the television 32 no it was selected the 200
godon
ai
osofo ya asema make na me sofo me gina nyame anim manche television ama obia
okay
na so sense ye wa sorry dem na mo hia ya de wa sorry dem
akopo television
abeche mo but manche television bo bia
okay
kanu nyame anim wa hu mindset as sofo ejina pulpit wa kama members wa sorry
obiati
enti ha den say obi wie primaries no na emu achiche obi wo ho party ejuma ayeye onye bi me say obi wo ha onye bi so wo sika kakra nti in fact delegate na am so be a handy for candidate
sebe de wuska
wo beba ofie sun wo constituency on about you betime di MP betime di wako
because wuska
ejuma ma mako we ho mako wo mo believe ni say nipa ne doso na mo sika be doso
oh okay we betu
ma ka sem cho 2023 primaries ye super delegate ni wie ye wo mo tie the chairman for ni wo mo amoto aba super delegate nya ye enti obi ba super delegate conference o ye ni budget say anya hwe kra no
obeja this amount
be man 2000 Kennedy Japan be man 2000 obi se wakobo bosia say oba conference okwa
against
oba ye wan hwe say nipa over 200,000 one na betime tue sika ma o oba onya transportation no o ye disappointed sabi obi ba no kono di transportation that's a transportation no e reasonable in the eyes of the reasonable man on the street
say 500 be krompa
o you compound house now we call conference we MPP ejuma ya man 200 cedis for transportation ni neighbor enye ne ya
da
say obi asua television fridge eni ehun sika getri no dia ba na afei o dia akoshe ni dem oni ni yire ni ma omudi
dabi what bema no the yire so san wasa de the yire dia shape ana the banana na say no di 23 no no so ase
enti pa 3
na TV miensa obusa da single room o TV miensa on be hwe no he
compound house no abato no so a obetimi akofra wo neighbors ne enkoto abama mbi
dabi you dare not
you can't
dabi
enonti na nipa dodo na susu se akayemwie na efi ho obi o ye MPP ni bia no onkyere na adwen asem papa but data management ehun so aso e kai de be ma party no I think say we must hit with caution na the party yes edimienu abeka ho me menyaya akayemfa be enum kra na ka mmeka ho said the bear in certain constituencies yeah still two now the abeka ho there are constituencies are not yeah nam 1004 near the idea no more there 300 and only two no be come 400 that problem na be cause
and should am but sekebia be 400 no and then kele so akobe 800
it should pass 2000
akobe say yes
but we should work towards it
okay.
As a party among for struggles because NDC for try emma ebuka omosimo me kai pa omu wies our primaries na mo twesa ye
media
but
media apart from sikasemo ho nobody can convince me say the party is not ready if we purpose in a heart say be ya
important
me that say
yes timing
yes
NDC for the omu ye there's a impending primaries and I'm assuming cultural party for nyina di ma to aba obi aba akotro bi but we hear no at the time we share your party polling station manual said yes here meeting here organization you need be your MPP
yes
so the dikan I was say a church will be heading near money panic card over a period of time yeah stop it ebia a whole year to election want to be new registrations
me area doctor family kura bi so yen dis na so MPP minimum
exactly so you see a krum kesiem and a difficult to even identify people
oh yes
but in krum kitwa na most of the constituencies no ntiele obi with all the expansion I no obi delegate in 500 so the mischief I per se cure no but beyond that I think National Council should come out with some regulations the best tell me we know
Siketiano
uniformity instead we a bad thing but we must enforce it now after so yes why you call contest no people should know say after your contest there's a general elections to be won me careful but it's a step in the right direction there and the numbers now you know and also presidential elections you collect because former executives of various constituencies we can't tell unless we build the data no na ye hu say constituency bia former executive say na wo say na free mu say na ye di ba beka ho former MMDCs former members of parliament be wie ni nyina no e be ma base no e be threat than it used to be but the mischief a person ye cure no still are and to me cures our mischief no. So the next leadership of the party should take steps nyame ye madom me ka ho bia e be take steps na aye den tem but we try na de no could do elections ne be ba now started to say we take his steps now apart from a cano dey so one hwe ni ya e bebu party ni komu e bra na e opposition but we starting in them now people are responsible for their positions now omutua omuduce ngakra na e hwe alternative ways of funding the party because they say akwa say expenditure and funding of the party no akwa jina nipa ba ko ni mienu so and no ne hard for the party over so many years but I think say it's a step in the right direction. One of the things I was say ye ni brehun say ye bit to me you go pro now saying party obi to me that na me am me party constituency officer me need membership card of the party
and say the membership card is with the people ni bi
bia ni bi
sa fe ne be foforo
na party e party odom party ene
dabi
afi na ene na odwen so benya party hwe
is September
to amu a konkro to amu e ye din say sorry foforo e be pie mu o onim ne ntia obi akuta ne card me ye basre ni me ye methodist ni ne card no on fa ni agro sansu na enti nkrom kese mu ani patu betram na de na sorry nkitu a starting te ban nkrom kitingiti no onim basre sorry onim de okọ basre onim de okọ methodist onim de okọ a friend is saying apostolic. So we must go back and do what is right for this party.
Sadie na they can sikatua near that you can't hide it e wo ho
go on you see a problem of transport constituencies via a typical example Elembele.
Okay,
we share the size of Elembele before obi be drew Elembele krom ho enyinase ho
no capital
ho no part of the constituency of Cast 3 no ababi drew e be beda baby overnight right oko baby to say Sydney East Sydney West oko Atebu Amanten oko baby be brew ho distance ani pa no betwa
aba capital
no na say afre general meeting o friend nipa no o call ni nine so o frɛ o maba this only fair say obema no TNT a ebe commensurate the distance the expenditure why
so
you see when you go beyond a certain threshold it becomes an influence say you want to induce the person and no ne was say yen hye ya
etikabuza say okay and the party ni and share say party ni ewo eyi ni nyina say location say they see the hatie entino and the aspirants the first camera
na party no nye disbursement
na party nye disbursement.
I've suggested that before
me suggestion
the general secretary one of the regulations who person kwa e be bu TNT na person otua e be bu TNT kana ma
o de now the asking is cause aka ho kakra je hwe
bibia aka so party dey organize it so we supervise and distribute for every aspirant is a one to me ntua announcement will be made obi super so call election person obi tua kapre o se nyame be hwe no so the party must be responsible
eti buya ne saa ni asa ka say ye tise obi
and no na me say me can kai say regulations are a better election bia ho no say you're strong to achieve a result otherwise and then obi constituency we do 3,000 e be ye den am ankrofo obi so dey ntwem 500 in the face of all the expansion na ya no so in certain places you bet me anya results no in other places you ntumi anya results no so I was here now regulations be better elections no na enkofa ye see na no be emma because compound house we now for we a delegate obi kra ho party adwuma yi I who say my woman say obi a polling station executive obisa no officer ben ni position ye dey onim o say me a delegate onim say your officer or hold the office obi polling station onim ni polling station to aba
it on one so your officer for the party they say on the what to aba
enti obi a ku ni ho ye party adwuma na ye kwoto aba no no ko gina ho no hwe say nipa we adwuma onye bi ye tare poster on tare bi ye ko worker onko bi
ye kwoto aba no ne banaba no
omabeji so polling station attendance and records So we must go back to the basics. But it stems from say what training officers ye no nim wo adwuma mo ye na constituency be conform na ya boa na nya nipa e betumi hold the party ye. But niama we nyina be koso. Ebra the reward system in the party is really looked at again. The reward system.
Do we have one?
Of course.
Any day here no.
Any reward system na buy power any party for na.
But no, it's a reward system. No, I don't think it's a reward system because there's no system in place.
So you see, and no one was say
there's no system in place.
You must be deliberate about it.
Okay.
Because let me be honest with you, young men and women, be brain now or what, and come constituencies are. I bet you they'll make significant impact. But I bet more rewarding to work for a flag bearer than to work for the party.
Or Godfatherism.
Exactly.
Godfather.
Obi, I a constituency officer. 2, 3, 4 terms. On your opportunities, your bar by more opportunity be creating. There's no mechanism to reward his hard work and loyalty to the party. That's the reward system. Party need.
But how do you set up such a reward system?
We need to be deliberate.
Okay.
So you need to, in the first of it, have a data. These are my constituency officers who are eligible to work in the public service, who are eligible to be appointed into offices.
Obia profile.
You should have it and be deliberate about it. Ubeko constituency be nkru be miensa and 9 and a forming constituency. One person and a be DC. The rest of the communities compensation be near so that they keep holding the party. So we must, as a party, managers of the party must be deliberate about it.
I see. Slahete NND and Common MPP nominations presidential nominations. Sinyami Adma 31st January 2026 year Kotwaba. Any past take kasa. Kofo oye campaign. In fact, since December 2024, couple be starting your campaign until now numbers keeps growing. And nipa be worry, makes me worry. And then kasefin any intwato so any sa needless divisions. Of course, me support you ya na enko for metal man and because all me support no. Sa na won so be ye wodi. But atani ye didi ye watem etwa ntroto ye ho so video obi aka asem bi ni ya sheda covid 5 seconds. Me ne aboy ho nkwa ne ya de narrative bi ato so ne de good pakole ni mase ye via. I need your supporters. Also we need, you also need my supporters. How do we deal with such a situation?
Gordon, let me be honest with you. Say in the advent of technology, say you call you the money.
A bear west.
A bear west. A bear west. You see, again, it goes back to the reward system of the party. Among for who say their reward in government or your abaimwa is tied to the party. But if people begin to see, say, well, more reward, a tied to an individual. I
think that's the current situation.
That's the situation. Yanshen here. Now go on. Meaning say who now be the president now. Met me achieve me dreamer.
And that's
me one ma wadachi me. But say meaning say me ye juma party no. You better recognize me effort. I don't care about you. All I care for is the brand must win the elections.
Okay.
So again, it goes back to the reward system in our party. Nipa edi kokonsa in track to so ni yama mudi atemu nyina no. Some people have been rewarded on the altar of such acts. But so we didn't throw social media no yes ani yama nyina na party ni ba power. Reward system is tied to the party. One why ye juma bwa party na. The next time uncle say na daje nkodi obi atem. Obe say na daje aye juma ma party no. Obe say na daje aye juma ma party no. So when we begin to look at the reward system of your political party,
I see. But until then, between now and December,
has to say, me president, me general secretary.
Na Obenyako.
Meko.
Mahu post you.
You see, Gordon.
Obenyako.
I was say.
Obenyako.
Meko pa.
It is a miasi. Obenyako. Confirmation wa ha. Okay.
Meko pa, Gordon.
Okay.
Well, party in Pempi nipa bebre na medanyame ase achede and so baso with the Patriotic Institute entitia I was say di ma ye ho say party ma de nya sua ho e wo party we mu very important because ye nim say ye reward system an event say aba aban mu is cut to the party be some party and some nipa be some party and some nipa enti presidential aspirants and the social media are a battleground for elections.
And what do you?
Yeah, two about we me yes sir. I went off the media space. To me also say I will do a nationwide consultation. Na me ni party for kasa. Na me TT ni pa no nsem. Na ye how we can. Na radio so. E ho na ye manage party no. Hwe ni here be hard. So yeah, they will say say managers of the party any opportunity. And design say it is more rewarding to work with the party. At which level of finding one. So him say udi obi echi akodi obi atem. Enye as rewarding as working for the party. Baby I will be recognize your effort now. You'll be comfortable going to your village. Go on. And now me know say.
Yeah.
Akwetia. There are many people who identify with villages in Akwetia.
Yeah, of course.
More influence. But hitherto, the brainer do not care. But you want Crawford, Obiako, ni Krum, Obiako baby an influence, a be matter. Near the age of our and Crawford on social media. Or my house or my jumem. Ye Krum penny for ye dear.
Omoya real estate to home. Omo dime bed your. But
you see, rewarding, that is why they keep doing it. Rewarding. Otherwise, and yes, I never say banner. And yes, I never say banner. Rewarding. And in penning for yourself and Crawford say is their army. They create social media army. For what? For defense. And that penning no bad power. Obeshe says Crawford whether they fall in line with the party structures or not. You reward this Crawford no. And it's a brand and a buy one. Or better than when you did some some party no. The honor may reward with Yaba.
Yes, and your co program no. Ura hakmonu so agima kanse bi o se ono no wa buche adekote man san be politics o Ghana no eye oboni din Dr. Safuedu and o kan na utie ura boache jako a ono so ya o kan me waka che me da se ura GH Mensa and na o se GH Mensa policy sale ne mo masa obeko se yenko na me hwe that sort of mentorship, any control and their respect. Say mentee no respect the mentor. Enti no and na mentee say mentor no so you be a wajiridi. Say saade na ese party ni mu aye den kakra.
Go on, me to me kaside.
Sa
ye mu bi ye ti hoyi. Ya mfa Godfather bi aba. Yeah, by the hard way from polling station, constituency secretary, their name will be do baby I do. Hold on, I can tell you, say, and Crawford already say they will mentor people.
Okay.
They will help. People should learn on the job. Experience. Want to mean lead the party with, and I say want to mean me yet and right. You know what I'm saying? The reward system in the party. We look at it again as a political party.
Okay.
Until then, a better more rewarding to hide behind social media, creating armies.
Now we say nipa corona.
Look, I'm being honest with you. Some of them we shall more rebel. Obi grani udao, obe pamata dia.
Obebre.
Onim ohun won sha uda. Obe pamata dia sha. We didn't try to so.
Si asoma no.
Enti e o say party ni ho say age anytime aye wo muni. Eno muni ni amebeba. Television stations, radio stations, your phones.
Phones.
And I be fear in come ye di why. You be fear no be a crony studio way. Now I hear no Crawford share no dear them. But how well do they get remunerated for that? So mo nya ko bojai. E hona asem so penny for.
It depend for mo say ase no.
Say you careful.
Okay.
Because who per party ye. And nipa ejire nyina esefata minim nipa ba ko a wasi ni 3% of so your mampani a on semfata na me de bia meka Ye mpanimfo di enim nyina e pese ye president nyina. Obi ase fatase John Mahama.
Nenso so.
More competent than John Mahama. Na me catch MPP for the bi ase. Nipa wo ye campaign. That me can 2021. Yes, we are in parliament. Na okay, in some see ye. Ade achi ye. For 17 hours aye kontokwa. Na nipa bi a yes get and browse to tia wo mo MPs. Na wo no ma fra wo na ekosei. Na ekosei na me se ye nyina ye sripe. Otwen bebre, omobofo so bebre.
Ampa.
Sada no 17 hours. Na mo ntokwa na soldier for bam na ye say because ade achi. Na ye hu de ye be ye because amam ahodo so mpanifo aba o se ekoso president in. And so at that material time no obi a want to abama MPP ano na fe nani atete.
Obviously, he's so right. We should have a database of all members who didn't pass interviews and slot them into different positions. Said they na work no. And the people about say Sly is speaking very, very well as a party person. I say he's not divisive. I will be I was saying. I told you Sly communicates very well. I'm saying minim Sly no to no kano. So to also there what they abandon no. Okay. Obisi position be na also work no. But o general secretary wa call for was na me adum lesi bia de na obeko general secretary ya de ono de abandon no. Okay, about 8:24 enchi bia na say ko 9. Ba me hwe we na me just 1 2. What says Sly is the best person for the job. Okay, mu de do hall mu why? Is that there? You do hall mu is bia. What the two na best na ba. But there men pen we as ne no hwan no. Yen dey me tell me fu. Tell them both. All right, in terms of for I oh yeah, we be che will be
party mu de ye wo animdi for bebre.
Yes.
Na me de me gidie strong e wo party mu. Na me de bia me can say party na ye me. Dey meeting.
Okay.
Because from Mingo Pram me new bia. And I'm party so and I'm mommy every platform. So me nan winda say me bibia be Haiti party in any form. God on okay the last presidential primaries. Alan Chairman me bonechi dompa. Me dini chingana bebia. E party juma. Alan si onye biom no. Me say yetu nkwanta ya pai.
Because be so be woso wa ha be boa.
Na say na wonti ase ya.
Anya ha. I remember.
But I was fair and firm. Many will be at them. Because I believe, say, a contest of ideas. But I'll land free mono. My first statement is some nipa, me some party, me some nipa.
Correct.
My allegiance is to the MPP party. I went treat obia odi aspirant DH. And now me know now. But on nipa di mechi ebo mechi dom. Ye di akoniaba. Obia nim baby me support. Abano me to be, but nobody knows.
Oh, nyame adogba to be, of course.
To be. But me nkwale di mechi. Ade ba ko say, wo mo person mo di wo mo nkomo, na mo kan presidential elections. Na me ba no mo jai.
So won can be.
First we am warn you be say, baby am wo ye discuss presidential elections no.
Okay.
If you crowd ba no to be.
Aye. No ko ka be kame.
Ko ka be kame. Me type party nechi. Me tie obi echi. Na me call me catch enkrofo say, obi a odi obi din beba. Say me support to asimasi we ntimi npo abama mutunti ano. So onye party ni papa. You need competence to lead the party. Everybody must come before you on his own merit. Experience awenya, the voice and the strategic positioning of that candidate.
Yeah.
Say be boa party no. Obi a obe electing the bia no. It should be a strategy for the person say baby your free bar no. It will add something to the party. Baby anipa no free bar no. What the akwenya ni mana? Ansa no be ye adwuma mpo no. E din Kenya bi beba baby. E din faso be bre party no. Enti party for nyina ka ya command ye yim. Na nipa no beba ye na so e bi tie wo ho. Mpanimfo ya obi a odi obi achi. Da nipa no be wi ni pe wanya headache. Headache ni say na flag bearer there enye no na akutua wo
presidency yes
the presidency and the moment our candidate be win flag bearership no bu nkompo hwe wachi say aso wo batumi akọ the competitors ho na wakosra wo mo say enyina sinko ya adwuma wo how I was so power na me hwe social media some of them we call mo inbox nipa na office wo bo na chi dom wo say no wo de otaw kase bi to wo mo so at the end of the day we MPP nipa say be wo campaign bi a go to people individually na woni wo mo kasa than social media me makase niama me meka wo me campaign platform so a che party for no me ntimi meka wo radio so ni television so
seja ho no mo
enye ha no mo ebi kra tie me kra wo mo nim ebi a me no wo mo kasa mo nim because in seven no be what is meant for them and nothing and there my go report you see enye ni na di baba bonti
of course
e party as na party nsem nya e kan wa bonti NDC for a catcher when there eja ehuru wo mo fie and there oyem be hye
na no odin
but o maka mo not to other than MPP for you how to keep quiet
8 months into the presidency of John
Dramani Mahama yes so krom ha amanfo o mo yem be hye wo and then try mo dida no me call we and ekoko
ai
na sa press conference na wo mo call ye Eriko Poku to forcing your friend is saying and Randy Abbey waba abetu na num to say no mo opposition na wo nim
me who have video no be
yes
to be 2 months ago.
You see,
and I'm saying, what is this guy talking about?
You have time to deal and I can party as them but I need time to come and deal with John Mahama's age.
How you feel with a person better be as a
brand? I was saying you're dealing with NDC for no one trouble.
Okay, and the young party we can party discipline.
Very good. God on.
Party discipline. It is saying
and yet
we sorry penimu bi no be nyene no wadi di obi atem akora bi so open so a so onya penimu a no watete no
God on. You see
yen den
selective justice selective justice emwa you see nyamba e koso nyina na ya na me ka kire nkrofo bebre say and I'm happy say party no the clarity aba say constituency executives don't have the first right to suspend. The recommendations must always come from the different committees. Until the committee systems are yedi go apamo e various constituencies no. Enhwe nipa omoni modi. Enhwe nipa omani mu edru. Enhwe nipa omosua ho no. And how to manage the party to stem the tide. Because the ecoso sisi apa especially obeko constituency buma. Constituency social media platform. Obi active said Yosipa. Obi atibi. Look, I make us control. The last elections, officers of this party. Now there were structures of your party. Obejwe na constituency officer. And as a former constituency officer. Now wakoti kuo. Na wafa polling station executives. Yes, ya tikuo.
No omuguso. Omo ye den.
Na ni bisa me ho. And no be kampa na voluntary groups. I thought that 2016 we did very well. We coordinated them so well.
V16.
Now we are polling station executive. We Juma we and Nicholas say una ukoti voluntary. You are not a volunteer anymore. You are not
your officer.
Me in my constituency. I am not the flag bearer din akotare ho. We are a super flag bearer asem. Now this party is premised on rules and regulations. Said the Yeshisha party way. Now benya polling station executive, electoral area coordinators. Now Omako form me a voluntary group. Now sad so if we
what do you form voluntary group? I think also 2024 elections NDC for those of Mahama one for the what's the ama
massa
I think going forward they have to ban all of them.
They feel say party with you were professional bodies. You were a drum former. You were different groupings. When you're part of your structures, no, it is proper. A come who boom say one person who boom campaign, and don't need the coordinators. Yeah, regional coordinator, constituency coordinators. But no matter constituency no. Now one of the executives, you both we cannot continue group, or say a group where you are flag bearer. Now polling station for DHD. we couldn't crack down on some of these things. I must be honest with you. Because constituency there, we are officer of the party. You fall in line. Now the background of the voluntary groups no more ban. Now, Sabi, we are voluntary group now person will be in the constituency. You should first report to the constituency executives. Now, I will say, my group where they looking at more what you stand for, more core area had a be party. There was some car, and I think say Nyama be Brianko ye. But it's also due to the fact say, hold on, popularity are returning Crawford from elections. Yeah, Jaumo raw, no training, no capacity building. Yeah, Jaumo. Having primaries yeah were a party mo. Hold on, yeah mubi. Maybe I share that story way. In 2012, Ningo Pram Pram. Obian checking the results before 2012. Yeah, 6,000 votes was that constituency order. 2012, now me a constituency secretary. Party say 1 year do be elections. When you are filing fee, man call primaries. And results I mean now Ningo Pram Pram is the highest ever in that constituency.
Sir,
that election. Go and check the results.
Wow.
Into the party based on research. I see a negotiating. Now, to me, it's all got on. I'm being on the brain per se on primaries. Also way because they want to be known, say opportunity bound benyebi. So I then negotiating. They compromise candidates.
Obi say under the MPP all regional chairmen were almost all regional chairmen were appointed as regional ministers. In some cases, regional secretaries received appointments instead. All regional secretaries were given positions within the NHIA. This deliberate approach extended to the constituency level where several party members received appointments. So, what Sly is saying has already been implemented, but probably it has some challenges.
Oniano onim de oka maybe now say ya me de nyama cherewa ho na ya asefum enti e mayen kika nsem sa o start say o kasa na the data ne ba wa hwensem bia be bruso ha no e be ha adwen enti onto ne bo
me ba cho e no obi bu sab me srem be 1 month ni e ka say party no opposition and nipa yemre TM fire responsibility ne nkoto party for loso kese sa yesrese ye pe motorbikes the abua party no ye pe motorbikes 150. Coincidentally motorbikes no, so most of them the body range between 14,000 and 15,000. Once if be royal said there's no more kind around 15,000. Ye pe 150 of them the ma MPP mrantel mu da ye adwuma e wa Accra na omudi ye adwuma e fa so bebrebe wo so enye bi wo mo operation e yinti no mintimi kana bontin ti flyer no e wo ho betimi de atoso akalai number was 0244 672 622 0244 672 622 meme number e dia was God na Asare-Bediako wo de toso a na wa use reference the bike wo de to the BIKE bike and now the to the send there with our friend make a say wo de 100 cedis aba what the 2,000 about what the 20,000 about say if I told to buy because the rental be brief here or pejuma ye some renting will assume say 100 motorbikes na or modi ye journey castle ye quite demonstration ye quite walk ni here motorbike for someone immediate no money enquire immediately you know ye from 100 motorbikes say back the baby be bit actually it be nipa 200 on don beba imagine until ye best ya started the be 1 month ya me aduma echena ebia first to no ebedi kan aba na ya hwente de yesrem amon kam ho na amon support sa motorbike operation ayeye no operation one motorbikes for MPP 0244 672 622 mene selected former member of parliament for Botiano English Amanfrom and I say no mayedi enkobono and former deputy minister of information I can be about 20 minutes yonko NDC wa and ebe kwa kotiaba and I yanko to Mahamo straight away. Okay, right. Enti diabe koko. Omudi jawo manu nyakopon pe bone. NDC winning was say ato force the finance minister. Ene before ene kro bu na randi abi. what Metro TV I can someone I for be ye see you cocoa board wa say na omo opposition ti na omo ekasa 150 Ghana cedis pew na aka koko ho na me say enkofo we dey con men in government na yankopon dey wo na ade kwa wonye na ade kwa ato force na wakasa ma NDC say NDC ba mu a ombetu koko bo am na ko be 6,000 and over no enne nyame ncha de one day finance minister na wonni ani wonti watimi atena se approve say yemfa just 150 Ghana cedis and to cocoa price e fa to so sa ibidi ho nkomo MPP for mpanifo e wa kotia ye hwe de e koso but nei NDC for akwa press akoye primary secretary bi ho no e de yi wo mo candidate obe contest wa akotia abra ye nua enese akomi afri mu na anwanwasam ne se sambe kaya awu se enese akomi e win elections no NDC parliamentary candidate no one contest will beat over 2,000 no or the assembly court na assembly the court ne lawyer say the lawyer no so call the post no ne call do papa to be me so kwa se wo ye ni tim sa ko win na NDC akomi eti omo se oh NDC ade ade one NDC akomi contest ko no ansan ko omo se da bia mpene ye be ko primaries ene no mo ko ye primaries eti lawyer no ene the client omo di abo ani ne about omo no de omo atra bontin as omo kan esentrofo ni ho omo wi omo friend esentrofo ase mo mra ne akan abanda wi ara mo ko ya pagya lawyer ne nsa se wa beat the NDC akomi ene contest 2024 elections no me no ka se eja dem e wa kotia and this was sa ye ni opo mo wi ayen se mo wi ayen dia e de be MPP ni no but me say MPP for muzuma ne nya mo de and this for you can never trust them in terms of elections they can never trust them muzuma ne nya mo de mo nkoso nya campaign no na mo hwe dem betim e de enkomo bebre e wo holomo mama menua akwaba slide na enema te say
Godon
menua
na wajo
ye nua so ho ye
nyame adom me because all these things that make one say me and yes you create opportunities no you create pa na say NDC for buy ni pa be 100 omo Bank of Ghana enye nyame na say ya na so omo yi ni pa be 100 figure Bank of Ghana omo buy maritime authority omo honkrofo bibre
in fact even national security national security saying omo fa I think is it 10 people per constituency
massa national security budget you can once October
I see any penny in the ministry
look you see
even that fast still
they be ameka obi a watie me bia or regions the constituencies they know what I represent they know what I represent so for me say obika the party and the government relationship abanye create every look they appointing MMDCs and yet party for now here so
party for
and here so the general secretary the national chairman any local government minister. Or we normally make recommendation from our president.
But see, I don't see you know to say Omomuka say my penny change omono don't allow one as a
you see. God on me say appointment. Yeah. Say nipa 5, 7, April, MC, DCE. Baku.
Of course.
Baku na akano. Ye treaty wo say. No want to support baku na odi adwuma na ma no.
Say your muta de bufu.
Of course. So the data even present to the president say. Nipa say na aye application. Say any party officers. Baku na nya aye. Opportunities be na ye create. But I'm always telling you say opportunities are ya create e wa ban mo. Over the last 8 years no. Ye ni ko party no ho. Me fix a party for. I'll be candid to tell you.
But
so you see,
at a point in time, president, I will cancel to me appointing by around 7,000 or so.
You see,
now those positions were they not failed by MPP people?
So let me tell you,
they were.
But yeah, because there are many people. I'm talking about the party structures.
Yes,
you were 276 constituencies by 17 officers, over 4,000 plus officers, and regional officers, external branches. These are officers of the party. So your core duty, say you speak and advocate for these people. And no biana when your opportunity no, and a line officer of the party.
Yeah.
But the line officers of the party, and a whole party no. So between a line officer who is educated, pay Juma. Ni obi oye adamfo for obi. Or no be relative on your way. No. You should be able to account for opportunities now you're creating. You should be able to account for. See, to me, accounting for opportunities, no. Not part in any fair share of the opportunities now. And because I did be way. And part in the say any more than a year. Obia president appointing the one way or the other. But I'm asking, say, Nipa say and they falling within the line officers of the party. Because Anka institutions are making MPA, Maritime Authority, Ghana Gas, GMPC. The last 8 years, not less than 5,000 or so. Employment across this way. When we deliberate. And then audit of NIPA FA or Monina. Yes, start to say audit this year. But somebody must be out there to speak for the say NIPA 5 are corporate DC. But Benya, or more can they are equally qualified. And they were deliberate. Says Uncle follow be. Opportunity be back for these institutions that even pay more than a DC. Now you offer them such opportunities when they go back to their constituency. They won't fight the DC.
But now also no when we say contest now will come no ebia person could di MC nipa 4 munyi na obi qualify ba ko de benya se ba ko nya na se wo anyina akotafia ana se unsu ma bunfu
na godon
minua
ye nyina ya pray ma obi a we yi wanim say we ye politics e wo local level the only prayer is say aban be ba power na wo ebusuafo we a young man back to school certificate dadem yakọ pre DC ye nya enya DC pe aban na nkasa create more opportunities
onko hwehwe bia
you see we see onko hwehwe bia
se bebre wo
there be so we see we must be deliberate about it. The point I'm making is that we say deliberate about it. Sabi obi wo esunafo esutifi baby na or the only master or a youth organizer of this party or with a master's degree or with a first degree or opportunity why apply for this where nya you should have the data say asimasi way onye jumo be ye wa some party na when nya opportunity there's an opportunity Ghana water you must facilitate and help him. So the person appointed by the president at this institution must be accountable.
When you say any petima your mother
and any party mun your mother.
And because
obi go can say o man penny say man find party for. O order.
You put oboa. You know oboa o man penny and cash ya chero. Professor Tifa say
I was say ye ni nipa e na ye adwuma. Ene yen nipa na betwi. Any nipa na ye from mo say young party juma.
Nipa
had na nipa ko ye party juma. And no na di ebufo any appointment. An appointment that nkrofo ye nyina na NDC for afa every regional organizer. A co-terminus the
deputy minister. Yes, that I agree.
And every regional organizer in charge of operations in the region. And they be man Prado no do betumi chin region ho ba bia aban fuel. Abanka, and you no service.
Who say?
And a him for non to me call within the district at the region on your Juma party. Ejuma bed on way. Omoye party, Omoye in this Juma.
And the party Juma.
So were they not deliberate about it?
Okay.
They were deliberate. And it's only pan crime.
Of course.
Because party officers, no. Woman officers are more representing party, no. And as a leader, I was saying Nipa look up to you. They shouldn't look down on you. No be a party Juma sa na party about power. Ni yini mua. Our local level over a laughing stock. So on to me inspire confidence. One among his own family, not to talk about the community. So until we are deliberate about opportunities I are creating, because a party form, you can't grassroots. It's the party people. Because we'll be a constituency organizer, we'll be a youth organizer, we'll be a chairman. Na onyibia, a share nipa or mutune swabano, almost a share of moon. So in 70 day be brave. I think say it's about time. Say deliberate about managing and resourcing our party.
Okay.
Important.
Mati, I was for aha I want to be radio 95.9 and na mosa show social media Facebook and YouTube. Mene former member of parliament Sylvester Tete wo English but ya no ka ho but ya no English amanfro mo kwan nye mo kwan de nye an iti me sa beach bi na wo fefe ni se ne ko ya me be ko abrede ka me ko bola beach na iti ya no wase ma ye di enkomo ye konkomo no ma no ye be ko the way forward ye be ko program ye ko conference ye ko University of Ghana Legon reforms wa abamu sa expansion kakra no aba no ene Chamber of Council of Elders Kasim bi ewo Protect Institute Hall was say who say NDC for a year registration bi na a video bi was nti obi apa mo ko share videos na dachi bi as MPP ka say ye bi ma mo bi a register ato aba but we say we NDC we MPP ni was there that possibility is there it maybe and money you to say no one step ahead I be betimi dachi be betimi e de aye my first like say e ma gaso Mr. Semeka was ebusafo
obi owo constituency obi abeti de course obi abeti sika yitu aye obi beti niama omodi kofi obi beti eno na nipa doma eto aba no impempi wo campaign na me call Asare-Bediako Methodist Church.
Okay.
And na so for no in fact ye primaries bi ye kwa koda ase koda nyame ase na ye call Methodist Church na so for no say miti se mu che televisions nti Asare de ye nji baako e bedi mienu
so for no
na wonim areho
na so for to aba ne bi
wonim areho sem o si mo wie kitwa no de kese no ye ne ye beto
ho ne asem no
ho ne ye problem but anokrase mo say ya nche television
ba what is a
propaganda a day or two before the elections we did two more say you say honorable Beche television na me say money per 1,200
wo constituency ba baby for bi che bi
media man che bi
baby
and na me catch here so from baby for che e bi che fridge
and baby de na omo wo television 32 inch no or be 200 ano di or be 200 the good them enti wo che we che we ko che de no eno hu se no ne de no ne ba ko de na aye tie enti tie breaker no and the television 32 no enti on was select the 200
godon ai so for yase ma make na me so for me gina nyame anim man check television ama obia
okay
na so sense ye wa Asare dem na mo hia ya de wa Asare dem
akọ television
be chem but man check television go bia
okay
kanu nyame anim wa hu mindset as software ejina pulpit so akama members wa Asare
obiati
enti hadwen say obi wie primaries no na emu acheche obi wo ho party adwuma ayeye onye bi me say obi wo onye bi so wo sika kakra nti in fact delegate na so be a anti for candidate
say we the whisker
wo beba ofie sun wo constituency na above you betime di MP betime di wako
because whisker
adwuma ma mako we ho mako wo mo believe ni say nipa ne doso na mo sika be doso
oh okay we betu
ma ka sem cho 2023 primaries ye super delegate ni wie ye wo mo tie de chairman for ni wo mo amoto aba super delegate nya ye Enti obi ba super delegate conference. Oye ni budget say anya hwe kra no.
Obeja this amount.
Be man 2000. Kennedy Japan be man 2000. Obi say wakobo busia. Say oba conference okwa
against
oba ye. Wan hwe say nipa over 200,000. One the betumi tue sika ma o. Oba onya transportation no, oye disappointed. Sabi obi ba no kono di transportation. That's a transportation no. E reasonable in the eyes of the reasonable man on the street.
Say 500 bi krompa.
O compound house. Now we are conference we MPP ejuma. Ya man 200 cedis for transportation. Ni neighbor enye ne ya.
Dabi.
Say obi asua television, fridge. Eni ehun sika, battery. No di aba. Na afei odi akoshe ni dem, oni ni yire ni ma omudi.
Dabi what Batman no the yire so sa wasa de the yire dia and the banana na say no di 23 no o no so ase
entini pa 3
na TV miensa obusa da single room o TV miensa on be hwe no he
compound house no abato no so a obetimi akofra wo neighbors na enkoto abama mbi
Dabi you dare not
you can't
Dabi
enonti na nipa dodo na susu se akayem na efi ho obi o ye MPP ni bia no on kire na aden asem papa. But data management, a once so a kai the Bema party. No, I think say we must hit with caution. And now the party yes, a dimi no become. Miminya, I can yamfa be inum, cranaka, MMBecam. Said ye bear in certain constituencies. Yeah, still two now the Abecam. There are constituencies are not yeah, now 1,004 near the idea. No more 300. And only two no become and 400. That problem never cost.
And sit down cook but sekebia baby 400 no and then Kelso could be 800 that
it should pass 2,000.
I could say yes.
But we should work towards it as a party. Among for struggles because then this is for try. Emma Ibuka Omusimo. Mekaipa Omu yes our primaries none of which is
media.
But
apart from Sikasemo, nobody can convince me say the party is not ready. If we purpose in a heart say
timing important. Yes, timing.
Yes.
This is for the Omoye. There's an impending primaries, and I'm assuming cultural party for you to Obi aba akotro bi. But we no at the time we share your party polling station manual. Said yes, here meeting here organization. You need to be your MPP.
Yes.
So the decline. I will say a church will be aiding near money panic card over a period of time. Yeah, stop it. Maybe a whole year to election. Want to mean new registrations?
Me Maria, daughter of family crab so yen this as well MPP. Exactly.
So you see, a Krum Kesiemu and a difficult to even identify people.
Oh yes.
But in Krum Kitwa, most of the constituencies more. In the end, will be with all the expansion. I know will be delegated 500. So. The mischief I per se a cure. But beyond that, I think National Council should come out with some regulations. The best tell me, where you know, Sikatiano uniformity instead. We a bad thing, but we must enforce it. Now, after so yes, why you call contest. Nippers should know say after your contest, there's a general elections to be won. You're careful, but it's a step in the right direction there. And the numbers now you know. And also presidential elections. They are because former executives of various constituencies, we can't tell unless we build the data. No, they say constituency be a former executives say they were say na a free mo say ni ediba become former MMDCs, former members of parliament. We ni nyina no. E be ma base no, e better than it used to be. But the mischief a person ye cure no still are and to me cures our mischief no. So the next leadership of the party should take steps. Nyame ye madom me ka ho bia e be take steps na aye ne ntem but wo twa na de no ko do elections ne beba now start to say be take steps na apart from e ka no de so wan hwe ni ya e bebu party ne komu e bra na e wo opposition but wo starting in ntem now people are responsible for their positions now omutua omuduce nkakra na e hwe alternative ways of funding the party because they say akwa say expenditure and funding of the party no e kwa ko jina nipa ba ko ne mienu so and no hard for the party over so many years. But I think it's a step in the right direction. One of the things I was say you need bring say you beat to me. You quite pronounce saying party beat to me that now me I'm a party constituency officer. Me need membership card of the party.
and say the membership card is with the baby ni bi
ebia ni bi
sa fe ne be foforo
na party e pa ene party Udom party ene
dabi
afi na ene na odwen se obenya party hwe
is September
to amu a ukon kroki to amu e ye din say sorry foforo e be piem wo wonim ye ntia obi akuta ne card me ye basre ni me ye methodist ni ne card no on fa ni agro sansu na enti nkrom kese mu ani pa tuk betinam na de na sorry nkitua e starting te ban nkrom kitingiti no onim basre sorry onim de okọ basre onim de okọ methodist onim de okọ a friend is saying apostolic. So we must go back and do what is right for this party.
Sadie na they can sikatua near that you can't hide it. Go
on. You see, a problem of constituencies here. A typical example, Elembele.
Okay.
We share the size of Elembele. Before Obibe drew Elembele, Kromo Enyinase ho.
Enyinase ho no capital.
Capital ho no. Part of the constituency of Cast 3. No ababi drew. It be better baby overnight. Right? Oko baby to say Sydney East, Sydney West. Oko Atebua Mountain. Oko baby be brewa. Distance ani pa no be twa.
Aba capital.
Aba capital no. Na say afre general meeting. O friend nipa no o call ni nine so o friend o aba. This only fair. Say Obama no TNT ebe commensurate the distance the expenditure
so
you see when you go beyond a certain threshold it becomes an influence say you want to induce the person and no one was say yen hye ya
et can be say okay and the party ni and share say party ni ewo eyi ni nyina say location say they see the hatie entino and the aspirants the first camera
party no need disbursement.
Na party need disbursement.
I've suggested that before.
Me suggestion.
The general secretary, one of the regulations. So person kwa. Ebebu TNT na person utia. Ebebu TNT kana ma.
Oh, now they asking is cause waka ho kakra je hwe.
Maybe aka say party dey organize it. So we supervise and distribute for every aspirant. Is the one to be ntia announcement will be made. Obi super so call election person be tia kapre. Osi nyame behwe no. So the party must be responsible.
Eti buya ne saa. Ni asaka say ye tisi obi
and no na me say me kan kai say regulations are a better election dia ho no say you're strong to achieve a result otherwise and then obi constituency we do 3,000 e be ye den am ankrofo obi so dia ntwem 500 in the face of all the expansion na ya no so in certain places you bet me anya results no in other places you ntumi anya results no so I was say hwe na regulations e be better elections no na enkofa dey see na no be emma because compound house e mu nam fofo we a delegate obi kra ho party adwuma yi awe ho se ma wo me say obi ye polling station executive obisa no officer ben ni position ye den onim o se me ye delegate onim say your officer or hold the office obi polling station onim ni polling station to aba
eto no onim so your officer for the party they say on the what to aba
enti obi a ko ni ho ye party adwuma na yekoto aba no no ko gina ho no hwe se nipa we adwuma onye bi ye tare poster on tare bi ye ko worker onko bi
yekoto aba no ne banaba no o mabeji
so polling station attendance and records, so we must go back to the basics, but it stems from say